Welcome to Taggarty's Thunder. I actually got a request to do a video about third-person perspective. I decided to turn it into a video with 5 tips. I'm going to cover a little bit of third person, and I'm going to go into much more detail about that specific thing because it's actually going to take up a lot more time than I realized. So with that being said, let's get these 5 tips started. The first tip is that third-person perspective is your friend, okay? So right now I'm on the roof. I'm in third-person point of view. You can see the little walkway, the catwalk up there. You can actually see everything. You know, it's really easy to see the world. In a second, I'm going to jump down here and show you. So now I can actually see the doorway in third person, and I can see a lot. In first person, I'm blocked. Okay, I have to come out to see stuff. So in first, there's a lot of stuff that you really don't get to see. But in third person, you really have a good advantage. I am way far back behind the wall, and I can still see that doorway. But switching to first, you really just don't have that. First person does have its uses, and I will get into that here in just a little bit. But the problems with being able to identify targets out in the world while you are in a combat situation. As you can see here, I am doing a left side peek in first person, and yes, you can see some of my body. Okay, but the problem is that left side peeks are a lot harder to do in third person because the camera is actually slightly over to the right. So in order to get the same kind of thing, I have to jump way out in third person. See how much further out I am than when I'm in first? First person is also super useful when you are clearing buildings. In this example right here, I heard gunfire, so I went to a building to investigate. They had left out the other side, and when I came back down, they started firing at me. And there is a lot of problems using third person inside a small building where it's dark, the camera jumbles around, it jerks around the player character, and so a lot of the things that I'm doing right now in first person I probably would not have been able to get done in third person. I may have even not. So it's a tool. They're all tools that you want to use. Another thing that third person is good for is being able to come up with evasive strategies. So here, for example, I spawned in, somebody else got all of my stuff. I didn't have any other options. So what I did in response to that is I ran and hid like a little bitch. And being able to use third person, I was able to see where he was the entire time. He had no idea I was behind the tree, and I kept rotating around and was able to successfully hide. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the next tip, which is it's okay to play with your settings. Okay? So in here, I have several options. My music is turned all the way down. My footsteps are turned all the way down. Those are the main things that I worry about. The awesome thing about footsteps is it turns down your footsteps. So if you're in power armor, for example, you're not going to hear your loud ass footsteps, and you're going to be able to hear your opponent's footsteps really easily. All right. The music being turned down also helps with that. So you do that, and it basically gives you superhuman hearing. Play with your controls, play with your settings, see what you like. Okay. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is communication. This is a really super quick tip. I'm going to do an entire video on it. But for now, this sniper shot that I got was based on my teammate talking to me and giving me the information that I needed to make this shot, right? Tip number 4 is to create blueprints in adventure. All right, so this is going to be a basic staircase that I'm going to show you guys in adventure mode. You start with a basic wooden foundation, and then you're going to get some stairs. I actually have some stairs that are made already. They're in my storage just for this occasion. So throw some stairs down. You're going to want probably 3 at least. Getting up on the stairs is kind of a pain in the ass in adventure because it doesn't let you jump. So you have to leave and then jump up on the stairs, go into blueprint mode. Hit your 3 stairs. And that's really all you need for a basic thing. But mine, I actually like to put a platform down. You can put a big one, a small one. You can make it whatever you want but it actually helps a lot. And the reason why is because when you try to jump onto something using the stairs, if you're going to jump onto the church building in Flatwoods or the monorail, or you're trying to get up a cliff, you have to jump over these rails, right? It's kind of a pain. I mean, as you can see right now, I could easily fall off. So what I like to do is I like to put at least a small platform down at the top of the stairs. It gives me enough standing room where I can make those jumps. And this 3-stair section will get you on to most parts of the monorail in Morgantown. It will get you on to a lot of structures. Okay, super important, super basic blueprinting thing to have. Now, if you do not know how to blueprint, it's really, really easy, okay? What you do is, while you are in build mode, you are going to select each individual piece, and you're going to hold A, and once you can see how it's turning white, each one of those turns white. You can also grow selection and things like that. But for this purpose, it's just super quick and easy. Then after it turns white, you can save it as a blueprint. As you can see, I have numbered blueprints. Those are specifically for Nuclear Winter, okay? The other ones that are not numbered are my adventure blueprints. That's how I can differentiate, and it also puts them at the top of the list. This is another one of my favorites. This is some foundations. Foundations can't be broken, as you know, no matter how much they shoot. So I will put these ramps around and then get rid of the foundation in the middle, which will leave a little pocket. And you can imagine the usefulness of this. So I'm going to blueprint this, and in the next clip over, I'm going to actually show you what this kind of stuff looks like in Nuclear Winter when you start putting them down, and how easy it is to actually do this. Okay, so here's an example of using a couple of those blueprints that I just showed you. Stairs show up right at the top, put them down, super quick, super easy, run up to the top of the stairs, and then in order to keep people from chasing me, I'm going to drop my camp down again. Walk in here, boom, got my large chest, and I got it before everybody else that ran up the stairs. Now, here's how you would use the bunker. You can drop it down, like maybe I hear some gunfire over by the cooling tower. I can come up here and I have cover, and the foundations allow you to kind of float a little bit, so you can peek up over the edge if you want to, or you can huddle down in there and drop your loot for whoever, get up on top, shoot people, whatever you want to do. So those are yours. Have at them, have fun with them, do what you want to do. And with that out of the way, let's get on to the last tip. The last and probably best tip is that the petrified corpses are your friends. They have drugs, okay? Now, they do have stuff like machine gun turrets, guard posts, but if you look up at the top left of my screen, I'm getting buff tats, I'm getting Med-X, I'm getting Psycho, I'm getting all kinds of awesome stuff. If you don't blueprint, if you don't want to use third person, if you don't want to even talk to your teammates, this is still probably the best #1 thing that you can do. So I hope you like this video. I'm actually going to be covering each of these tips in a lot more detail in future videos, but I would like to hear from you guys on what specifically you might be having more issues with. Third person and first person perspective, I am definitely going to cover in more detail. I am also going to be covering communication, call out, spawn points, and a bunch of other stuff. So until then, you guys take it easy. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.